A WWE Star could be returning from injury and entering the Royal Rumble. We'll talk about that. Plus, a major Raw star is working hurt. And could a WWE Hall of Famer make an in-ring return for NXT? It's all in the wrestling news right now. I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand. It's not Randy Orton returning, that's just a little joke I give you on a front end.
In my soul, no it isn't Cody Rhodes.
It's not Cody Rhodes either. Who are we talking about, Andrew? Possibly coming back for the Rumble.
Let me tell you, so Wade Plemons is the co-host of the Breakdown podcast, and
Plemons is coming back?
No, he's not, but he gave an update on the person who could potentially be coming back. He gave an update on Logan Paul, saying he's going to get stem cell therapy. His MCL was the only thing that was torn. He didn't have a triple tear. He's going to try to wrestle in 6 weeks, apparently. And 6 weeks, Tom, is roughly around when the Royal Rumble will be hosted.
So are we saying that Logan Paul could return in the Rumble?
I think that can be a huge possibility, and I also think it'll be a way whoever eliminates him, or if he gets eliminated by somebody, I think that then sets up for a match at WrestleMania once again for Logan Paul. That's what I'm thinking.
I wouldn't be mad about him being in the Rumble.
Not me neither. I think he'd be phenomenal. I feel like he'd even get maybe some upset eliminations in there as well to really irk people. But at the same time, you can't be irked because he's bloody good in the ring, you know?
He is a little bit. I'm so excited that we're in Rumble season. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
6 weeks.
I know.
That I was like, ooh, that's close.
I know. It just
much closer than I imagined.
And you know what? And if he's going to wrestle in 6 weeks, it ain't going to be at like a house show. It ain't going to be on an episode of Raw. It's gonna be a surprise in the Rumble.
Oh, definitely. I think he'll get a surprising pop as well after his match with Roman Reigns. I think he'll get quite a surprising pop when he comes out of the Rumble, if he comes out of the Rumble.
If he comes out, we are on the road now to speculation for the Royal Rumble. So if you're one of those wonderful wrestling fans like myself who enjoys the surprise and mystique of the Royal Rumble, we're probably going to be your worst nightmare in the next 6 weeks. But
sorry,
we're sorry, not sorry at the same time. Who's working injured on Raw then, Andrew?
So Becky Lynch, in an exclusive interview with WWE, Tom, has been talking about her return to action. She said, "Truth be told, my shoulder still isn't feeling right. So to say I was nervous is probably a bit of an understatement. But once you get out there, once you get in front of the crowd and you feel that energy, then you forget everything else. There's not another feeling like it."
No, there's a lot of love in there for her return to Survivor Series, but that line there, my shoulder still isn't feeling right.
I don't want them to rush bringing her back, you know, but they've already put her in War Games, so she's probably been through like one of the worst of it in terms of like match types you could possibly be in. I hope she's all right.
I can see 2023 being the year that Becky Lynch sort of eases right back when it comes to the wrestling.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like her persona when she was a heel was 50-50 for some people. I think some people either really loved it or some people felt like she was trying a little bit hard. So I wonder if 2023 is just pure straight Becky Lynch getting back to that place where everybody just universally is like, yeah.
But not running as hot as she was like week to week to week to week. I think I think we see her wrestle a little bit less in 2023.
Okay.
And then I see her become sort of a special attraction 2024.
Oh, all right. Yeah, no, I could see that as well.
I see her winding down.
A little bit, yeah.
I think she's done loads, and she's more than earned her stripes and more than earned the opportunity to go pursue other things outside of wrestling. But because, whenever the man comes around, there's going to be a lot of excitement around it.
And she's a mother as well, so she's got a lot on her plate in that aspect too.
Tonight, a Raw star is competing on SmackDown. Who are we talking about, Andrew?
We're talking about Johnny Gargano. A PW Insider here saying Johnny Gargano is currently slated to be at tomorrow's SmackDown's tapings. We are told the plan is for Heat and Kevin Owens to team against the Usos in a dark segment. So Team Panda Express back once again to have a match with the Usos. I want that on television. So I want it on television.
Nice. Obviously, PW Insider wrote that yesterday.
Yes.
So tomorrow being tonight.
Today, yeah.
Tonight. Time, something, human perception. Yeah, so I love the idea of pattern. Now, they tend to bring in Raw guys on SmackDown guys on Raw sometimes as a nice way to end the night for the live crowd.
Yeah.
But you know what? With Drew McIntyre not being on the show, Now, obviously, they've got a replacement for that tag team title match with Sheamus now teaming with Butch. They might just put Gargano in there with Owens just for the fun, or maybe just put Johnny Gargano in there with whoever.
Yeah, no, I'm more than happy with that. Like, I love seeing Gargano on TV. I love seeing Owens on TV. Like, more of them together. If we do get that, hopefully on TV, I do want to see that on TV. I know this is a dark segment, but come on, just give us a little bit. Go on. Pepper it in. Go on.
This weekend, NXT Deadline takes center stage, the final big show for NXT in 2022. Shawn Michaels was on a media call yesterday to go through, to answer a few questions from the surrounding press about NXT and sort of the wider WWE scene as well. Obviously, William Regal came up.
Yep.
And he mentioned that there's a lot of love for Steven Regal and he'd love to talk all about him, but right now, there's hushed words all around. It's looking like he's back in the new year in a non-televised role as he steps away from AEW. He talked about the New Day competing this weekend. Now, Andrew, you talked about this in our previous video when we ran down the card for Deadline, and you said like the New Day are kind of done and dusted with SmackDown right now, and they seem to have fun on Wednesday when they pop by, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, and I'm really happy to see that, because as we were talking about as well on Twitter and everything, they were very much putting out, perhaps in character, perhaps not in character. I'm not too sure. They were like, I'm just done. I don't know what else to do. When they lost their match with the Usos to regain the belts and, stop the Usos from taking over the longest reigning tag team title legacy there
seemed to be like a little element of like, we're done.
Yeah, definitely. But like, I think their persona fits very well on NXT, and they're big names as well to put on NXT to hopefully get more people watching that product.
Well, that's the hope that Shawn Michaels has, that those names do stick around. He wants it to be more than a one-off thing with the New Day, as the New Day are also happy to be there. Shawn Michaels said he wants to keep the New Day on NXT, quote, as long as we can. So they might be there for the long haul.
There's a great benefit to having them there as well, because they're such a good tag team. They can absolutely help everybody out there.
Shawn Michaels also talks about NXT Europe, gave us a little bit of detail on where we're at with that. He said an announcement is coming early 2023. He is going to be in charge of the initial rollout of NXT Europe, because he was basically the man behind NXT UK by the end of things. And once NXT Europe gets started, his role is to then put a team in place so it can just run itself, so it can be almost autonomous and do its thing over there. And so then he can return to NXT in America. And I think that's what NXT Europe needs. It certainly needs to be its own working body of people who are based in and around the continent of Europe.
William Regal heading that up behind the scenes, maybe?
Why had my brain not gone there?
Perhaps. I think that'd be quite exciting.
I don't know. As great as that would be, I kind of feel like Regal might have bigger fish to fry.
Okay.
I think Regal might be more sort of Triple H's second
I get
in command.
I feel you, fam.
Type. As great as that would be, but Regal could certainly be involved in part of that. In terms of how NXT is put together, because obviously it was Triple H's baby for the longest of time. Yeah. But now Triple H has had more babies. It's just overrun with babies. Shawn Michaels revealed a bit about the NXT creative process, and it's pretty much all Shawn at the moment. He says, I'm very fortunate that Triple H trusts me. There's been no communication over the last several weeks, almost no communication over the last several weeks. He's just been so busy. He's got so much going on. I don't want to add any problems to it. If there was something very urgent, I guess I feel like we need, or a question that I need answered, I know he'll hit me back. But right now, we're running on what we feel like is pretty good down here, what we're running. We understand what they want from us and from the talent. To me, I always feel like no news is good news. And if nobody's calling me and I'm not bothering them, I feel like everybody is happy with what's going on. So it does explain why Shawn Michaels has been more present on television lately, because he's certainly writing,
booking himself. He's going to win that NXT. He's going to win that NXT title.
The old Shawn Michaels is back. What a pittance. That was Kevin Nash. Sorry. Now, on a final note from the media call. There was a conversation about Sean Waltman that came up. Sean Waltman's recently had numerous operations that have got him back into possibly wrestling shape. He's keen to finish his career on a high after a couple of matches in GCW that went really well, and he wants to do a bit more. So the question was asked about Sean Waltman wrestling for Shawn Michaels' NXT. And Sean said, I've got to tell you, he's in the best shape he's been in for a long time. He looks fantastic. Obviously, that would be something I'd have to run at the flagpole and everything, but talent talent would benefit from that so much. I know he'd have a blast. If that is an option that we are allowed to explore, I would jump all over it. X-Pac having his final run in NXT.
I wouldn't
That's
mind
a
it at
great
all.
shout.
I think it's fantastic. As Sean says here, it's a benefit, I think, to the talent there, and also what a good look it would be for someone from NXT to, like, for Sean Waltman to put them over, for X-Pac to put them over as like a big star. Why not?
I think the thing that might become very apparent should Sean Waltman step into NXT is because back in my day, Sean Waltman as X-Pac tagged with Kane. He did that Land of the Giants storyline with the Big Show and the Undertaker, where he was like the young guy getting bopped around. Truth be told, X-Pac's like 6 foot.
Wow.
He's a really tall guy.
He's a tall boy.
And I feel like he would tower over quite a few people on the NXT roster.
He might do. He'd be like Omos in NXT, wouldn't he?
He would be the Omos of NXT.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
It's what we want to happen. For more wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Keys.
Love you, bye. I feel like my chair's really low for some reason.
Oh, is it?
Oh, it was.
Oh.